You may not be like Snowy, but you're still my boy. Why can't you be more like Snowy? The Adventures of Tintin. Now here's the funny thing. This is based off a series of old comic books, which I never read. There was an animated TV series on HBO, which I watched as a kid, but I don't remember hardly anything from it. It's a 3D motion capture film, which I'm not a big fan of those films. Yet I anticipated this to no end. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, that's gonna be a fun movie. And sure enough, it was fun. It was exciting, and I just had a great time. Part of the reason why the experience was perfect was because I actually saw it in an early showing today, which I was absolutely the only person in the theater, which means I didn't have to hear popcorn munching or rappers being opened and people making noises. I didn't have to see cell phones being used. It was perfect. But at the same time, it was kind of a sad sight because apparently this movie is not doing very well in the US. But this is really a fun film, and it is literally reminiscent of Raiders of the Lost Ark with a dash of Pirates of the Caribbean. And obviously you got the Raiders of the Lost Ark film because this is directed by Steven Spielberg as well, along with some awesome John Williams score. And not to sound like a Spielberg fanboy, nothing like that, but Spielberg has managed to use motion capture perfectly, which is something that Robert Zemeckis has struggled to do. And to be quite honest, this movie couldn't be anything else but motion capture. It had to be animated. There's some crazy, awesome sequences in this movie that could only be done with animation. This movie has plenty of action, and I actually liked the comedy that was in it. It's definitely more along the lines of slapstick, which I'm not a big fan of, but somehow it just worked so well in this movie. And a lot of the humor comes from Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who play two twins, both named Thompson, who are also police officers, and they're funny. But of course, the best standout character is most definitely Andy Serkis as the captain, Captain Haddock. Andy Serkis needs some kind of award. He is so awesome at giving great motion capture performances. And Captain Haddock is an awesome character, even though he has a serious drinking problem. But then it's not really much of a problem because it seems to enhance his fighting abilities, his senses. I guess alcohol is not all bad. Jamie Bell as Tintin did a great job too. He gave a very likable performance. Now Daniel Craig is the villain. I forgot the villain's name. He's a real prick. I mean, he is bad. He's definitely the kind of villain you want to see go down. But I gotta give Daniel Craig some credit. He did a great job with that character. And of course you got some wild action. You got some fun, old-fashioned adventure, treasure hunting. I mean, the movie doesn't have much of a story. It is just basically a treasure hunt with a few twists and turns here that aren't really that amazing. But the movie's all about just giving you a good time, and I for one had a great time. Is it a great movie? Well, it was great in the sense that I had a great time watching it, but is it something that's gonna become a classic? No. But it doesn't need to be. I mean, Spielberg has plenty of other movies in his catalog that are classics. This was a great little idea to bring back this character that most people don't even know about, and to give him one grand adventure, and it really is a grand adventure. There were a few things in the movie that kind of made me kind of shake my head and say, oh yeah, right. Like there's this one scene with Haddock and Tintin and Snowy the dog, who's freaking awesome dog. They're on the plane and it's running on fumes, it's going down, and the only way to jumpstart it is for Haddock to crawl onto the deck of the plane and to burp inside the gas tank because he had just drank a bottle of alcohol. And there's a few other little things, but in the end, the flaws in this movie aren't drastic enough to take away from the fun experience. And by the way, yes, I did see it in 3D. I didn't want to see it in 3D, but it was an early showing and that's all they had available. But I will say it was decent. I could have done without it, but one thing I was impressed with, and this is the problem I have with 3D movies, is During dark sequences, because of the damn glasses, you can't see nothing. The lighting was great. You could see everything. Which is really funny because you know Peter Jackson produced this movie and you know he wasn't going to settle for anything less than perfection. Plus, I was watching the credits and it said that Steven Spielberg was a lighting consultant. So you literally are getting the best presentation Hollywood has to offer. Please go see this movie. Have fun with it. If you're a father with sons, take them to go see this. If you're an adult but you're a child at heart, go see this. This is a really enjoyable film. Not doing so well, so please go support this one. It's a great time at the movies. So I'm gonna give The Adventures of Tintin a 4 out of 5. I will say this, the final films of 2011 are shaping out nicely. And for a second, third, or even a fourth opinion on this film, check out the reviews of these people right here. What?